as you can see, Norma Jean approves of the pillows. You like your new pillow, sweetie? Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? Yeah, good pillow. They have been loving the new little pillows I've made. And so that's awesome because I was hoping that they wouldn't, like disregard them. Like sometimes they'll disregard things and be like, turn their nose up, I did not want it and stuff. But she's been laying on that pillow. All of them have been laying with and playing with their new pillows. So I was really happy about that. Well, I just thought I'd come on here and I'm going to have a quick cup of coffee. I've been working on my list for shopping and I think I'm about done, and I'm going to go spend the day at town spending way too much money on way too little stuff, as happens these days. Good coffee. Now, I've been working on my sewing machine and trying different things and coming up with different ideas and stuff. And years ago, I think my son was like 10 years old. We did Christmas presents for everybody. We sewed pillows in the shape of their initial. So, a big letter J or, whatever. And so I used that activity to teach him how to sew, how to actually use a needle and thread. And it was fun and everything. And at the time, my mother had these little like neck bone pillows, is what she called them, and they were for to put behind your neck, to support your neck, and they were really comfortable and really hard to find. And so we kind of thought about it and came up with how to make one, and so we made a couple small ones, and this has been at least 15 years ago. So as I was making pillows, I was thinking, I wonder if I could make one of those neck bone pillows again. And so, with a little um, trial and failure, I finally came up with one. So, this is my first effort on the neck bone pillow. And all it is three pieces of material shaped kind of like, a dog's bone. And you sew them all together and stuff them. And it makes for a nice, cushion for behind your neck. Or as this has been sitting in my kitchen for a while, I think it looks like the bow on Minnie Mouse's head. What do you think? Does it look like Minnie's bow? I think so. So this is what I've come up with for the little neck pillow. And I think maybe it needs a little bit more stuffing. I'm going to get some more stuffing today. But I'm having a good time making these pillows. They're pretty simple, and it's giving me good practice on my new sewing machine, and I'm having a good time with that. I've done a lot of sewing, but it was all by hand. This is my um, sewing kit that I had when I was a seamstress for the band. Yes, I was the seamstress for the band. My son's marching band. I took care of all of their uniforms for several years. And this little box and a little kit, a smaller kit that I wore on my belt loop. I would replace buttons and I would actually sew kids into their costume. If we had a wardrobe malfunction, I would have to sew someone into their costume or uniform. They called them uniforms. And I always called it costumes and wardrobes, and they weren't. They were band uniforms. And we had to hem them every year and fit them to everyone every year. And they all had a sash of sequins, silver sequins. At some point, I've got these big nylon pictures of my son when he was in high school, and he was in tennis, and he was in golf, and he was in marching band and something else. Anyway, I've got these big nylon, like life size pictures. I think they're bigger than life. And they hung them on the chain link fence around the football field. If you were in different activities, they put your picture up if you were a senior. So his senior year, he got all those, and I kept them. So I have no use for those. They're just these huge, bigger than life pictures of my son when he was a senior in high school. So at some point, I am going to show you those pictures so that I will at least have something to do with them. They're just sitting in a closet. How often do you need something like that, really? Um, but that'd be a way I could show you on their band uniforms. They had a big swath of sequins. And so, anybody that wore a horn and had their little neck thing clipping on their horn and their horn was moving around, sequins just falling like rain. Any of the percussion with their harness, for like Forrest played the tenor quads, so he had four, actually he had two extra little congos, so he had six drums on his rack. But the bass drum, the snare drum, and they wore the full rack for the snare. They didn't wear it off to the side like the military ones do. So all of these different things, almost everybody wore some kind of rig or support or harness or lanyard or something, and those sequins just were constantly coming off. So I was constantly sewing sequins on until, and this is no kidding, until I could actually close my eyes at night and see a field of sequins. I did that so much. And I always, was sewing on those uniforms and by hand, like putting sequins or putting in a hem. Somebody had walked their hem out, or of course, 1,000 sequins fell, or whatever it was, a button or a collar, or they had these gauntlet things. And anyway, so I was constantly sewing, but it was always, always hand sewing. So I've never really worked on a machine. So making the pillows has been a new experience. I did make some masks, but most of the masks that I've made, I hand sewed all of them because I didn't have a machine at that time. And now, since Boone gave me this wonderful brother, I've been sewing my little tail feathers off. Now, this took a little bit of testing. It was a little trial and error to get this shape. Finally, what I wound up doing to get a shape was I took a piece of paper and I drew this shape, like half of the end of one side, like that. And then, so I just drew that shape and folded the paper over and cut it out. And then so I did this on one side of the material, and then I flipped it over and did this. And this was my template for my little pillow. So if you want to make one, it's super simple. The only trick is right at where they all come together. Now this one I hand sewed and it looks fine. And this one I kind of did with the machine, and it's a bit pleated, a little bit pleated. So I think I may, and stuffing it all from one end was a little of a challenge. So I think I may leave both ends open on the next one and put the stuffing in from both ends and then hand sew both of the little closures, because I like the way that looks better than that one. But I mean, it's okay. And this is, it's a to throw in the car, or just to have something comfy to put behind your neck or whatever. It's uh, not important that it looks perfect. So this is my next project. I'm going to make some of these, and I'm thinking maybe I will just give these away for Christmas. I will give everybody one. It seems like kind of a unique gift idea, and most people have, a time that they want to lean back and relax their neck, whether they're in bed or resting or whatever, So I thought this might be a good all around gift because, I love to make handmade gifts for everyone for Christmas. I don't like to just buy things. I want to make you something specifically made by me for you. Um, and I thought, these could be done in three different colors, or for like men, I could do camo or just a solid color. This is just some material that Boone had given me that I had a big piece of, enough to do some experimenting and then come up with something. So, and it just looks so cute sitting over here. It looks like a Minnie Mouse bow. I love that. But yeah, so I'm getting around. I'm getting ready to go to town. I've been working on my list here, and it's quite extensive. I have been using up the stuff in my pantry. So not too long ago, I cleared out an area in my laundry room, about 6 big shelves, and I started stocking it with groceries, staples, canned goods, um, over the last few weeks, I have heavily dipped into that, fixing meals. Some of the stuff I've given away, some I've taken to family get togethers, just different stuff. And then, like, I'll fix a traditional meal because I'm dieting and I'm just having like protein and a salad or protein and a veggie. So I'll fix a traditional meal like beans and cornbread or, meatloaf and mashed potatoes or something like that. And then that'll be for my husband. And then for their lunches tomorrow, they can eat that. So I've been going through that stuff in the pantry pretty quick. And I got in there looking around. I was like, oh, I need to restock. And I got to thinking, well, I've changed my diet and I don't need quite so much of the stuff that I had in there. So I pulled everything out of the pantry and everything out of the laundry room. And I kind of did a reshuffle and a reorganize. And I was able to move everything because I'm not baking like I was. I had a lot of baking stuff like bread flour, regular flour, cornmeal, all the stuff. Who's messing with my tripod? Vincent, come here. They love to love their face up against one of them tripod legs. Come here, boy. Come here. So anyway, since I didn't have all that baking stuff, I don't have all the stuff for cakes and pies and breads and cornbread and battered foods and all that kind of stuff. I have a lot more room in my kitchen pantry. So I moved everything that was left into my kitchen pantry, and I have some more cabinets that I've gone through and stuff, and I have plenty of space in the actual kitchen. I don't really necessarily need all that room in the laundry room anymore since because I was using this as like a baker's pantry, and that is like, backup, storage. But I've kind of incorporated that all back into the kitchen again. And I think over the course of the weekend, me and my husband are going to reorganize and sort all of the tools and things that are in the laundry room. Mostly, he's going to have to do it because I tell you what, whenever I organize anything that belongs to him, then he can't find it, and I don't remember where I put it. So, you know how it goes. I'll organize it really well, and he can find nothing. It'll look pretty, everything's there, and he's like, "Where's that socket wrench and that such a thing?" I don't know. I don't know what I did with it, but it looks nice, doesn't it? I've done that with my craft stuff before. I've organized it and it looks so nice, and then I'm like, where's that crochet hook that I was using? And I wind up having to pull out all this stuff. So I like to organize, but I don't do it really practically. I do it to where it looks nice and everything looks organized, but maybe I could do better at accessing the stuff once I've organized it. So anyway, we're going to work on that this weekend. Get the laundry room kind of tidied up, get some of the tools and the garden equipment that we keep in the house um, kind of organized and stuff. We do have several L brackets and some good boards, so we could put up some more shelves, if we needed some more shelves. So I'm looking forward to getting the laundry room tidied up since I've been spending a lot more time in there on the treadmill. Sometimes, you guys, I feel like turning that camera around and talking to you and interacting with you and telling you maybe what I was listening to while I was walking or thoughts of the day or whatever. But sometimes all I can do is just record like my time and my distance, and that's it because I'll be so tired. I don't want to do it in the first place, and I get on there and trudge through a mile, and I'm like, there it is. Oh, but I'm going to try and, be in a better mood and try to talk to you guys when I give my treadmill time. I'm going to try and do it 3 days a week, maybe two. Like today is Friday. I did it, I think it was Monday, Wednesday, and then normally I would do it today, but I'm going shopping. So that's enough. Shopping is enough exercise. I will surely walk a mile, probably way more than a mile in Super Walmart, just Super Walmart. I'm sure I'll walk more than a mile in there. Huge, huge. So anyway, that's what I'm up to today. Just going to do a little shopping. I'm going to upload some videos, and I made the little kitty cat pillows, and then I made this thing, and I may look at some fabric while I'm at Walmart and think about making some of these for Christmas presents. That's what I think I'm going to do. I could put a little tassel on here, or I could put a little maybe cord around, or some lace or something, and fancy them up. But really, I like it just plain like this, because then you don't have to worry about messing it up. And you just, throw it in the car or wherever. That's what I'm thinking about, is having one in the car for sometimes when you have to wait for who knows, hours, whatever. Have a little pillow to rest comfortably on. So, anyway, I'm off to the store. Gonna have a nice long shop, and it's not too hot today. I was gonna go yesterday, but it was raining. I was glad it was raining. Um, but today it's only supposed to get up to 91, so that's nice. So I'm gonna go have a shop. Maybe I'll get a chance to go by and see my friend and visit with her for a little while and get some stuff done. Get out of the house. Um, everything everything that's been going on this week really isn't nothing to write home about. Mainly just regular housework, and I've been working with my sewing machine. So if anything exciting happens this weekend, I'll keep you posted. Y'all have a great weekend too, and until next time, y'all be sweet.